Hi, the name of this lesson is Lost in Translation. Hola, el nombre de esta lección es Perdido en la Traducción. Hi, welcome again to Spanish for London. My name is Laura and today, in this series of GCSE Spanish, How to Get Better Marks, I will teach you how to translate, in this particular lesson, 5 sentences talking about sports. So, here you have 5 sentences. Pause the video, take your time, and try to translate them into Spanish. Okay, take your time. Now, I will teach you how to translate them properly. Number 1, I play tennis. I must train if I want to win. Translated as, juego al tenis. 2 comments here. First, we don't say yo juego al tenis. It's not natural. 90% of the time in Spanish we drop the pronouns. Why? Because every single person has a grammatical ending which is different. When you conjugate the verb, you have different endings. So we don't need the pronoun because the ending is enough information for us. So don't say yo juego al tenis. Another thing, tennis is written with double N. Tennis in Spanish with only one N. This is frequent, so you have to check the spelling. And then, I play tennis. Juego al tenis, not juego tenis. In Spanish we say juego al tenis, juego al fútbol, juego al baloncesto, which is basketball, etc. Let's continue. I must train if I want to win. Again, debo, not yo debo. It's not necessary to put the person here. Debo entrenar si quiero ganar. So remember that must is deber. That's why your teachers talk about your homework as deberes, because you must do them. So I must, debo, entrenar, and then the if word translated as sí without a written accent, because sí with a written accent is yes. Okay, so the correct translation is juego al tenis, debo entrenar si quiero ganar. Number 2, I am very tired. I should rest and continue training tomorrow. Translated as, estoy muy cansada. I said cansada because I am a woman. If you are a man or a boy, you say, estoy muy cansado. Now, here, the decision was because you have I am. So, soy or estoy. Ser o estar, to be or not to be. Okay, remember, when something is a result of an action or a result of a process, as in this case, because you are tired, because you did something before, that's why you are tired, you have to put estar. Nothing to do with permanent and non-permanent situation. This is absolutely irrelevant. Remember that and go to our lesson about ser and estar. So, estoy muy cansada, muy, very tired, muy cansada, never mucho in this context. You have another lesson where I explain, this is the gift video, where I explain 10 common mistakes made by students, and there I explain when and how to use muy and when and how to use mucho. Okay, estoy muy cansada. Now I should. Debería descansar. I should rest. Notice that this form, debo, I must, and this form, debería, I should, are forms of the same verb, deber, but this is the conditional form and we use it to say I should. Debería descansar y continuar entrenando mañana. Remember that tomorrow is mañana, but the morning is la mañana. So it could be a little tricky, a little confusing. When you want to say I go tomorrow morning, we say voy mañana por la mañana. Okay, number 3. A year ago, I won a competition and the best thing was the prize. Okay, hace un año, a year ago. Remember, the form ago is translated into Spanish as hace. This is one special form, one impersonal form from the verb hacer. Hacer means to do or to make. So when I say I do my job, hago mi trabajo, hago means I do. Or I make a cake or a paella, hago un pastel, hago una paella, as I make as well. But hacer has a specific impersonal form to say ago, 1 year ago, hace un año, 2 weeks ago, hace 2 semanas, 3 hours ago, hace 3 horas. So 1 year ago or a year ago, hace un año, gané una competición. Do you see? I don't say yo gané. It's not necessary to put the yo part here. Gané una competición y lo mejor fue el premio. Now, notice that to say the best thing, I said lo mejor. When you want to say the best thing of something or the worst thing of something or the interesting thing, you say lo plus the adjective. So the best thing was the prize. Lo mejor fue el premio. The worst thing of the lesson was the exam. Lo peor, so the worst thing, lo peor fue el examen. Or I saw a film and the most interesting thing was the music. Lo más interesante fue la música. This is a very useful structure when giving your opinions. You don't translate the word thing. Thing is cosa in Spanish, but you don't say the best thing, la mejor cosa. You say lo mejor, that's all. Number 4, I went a trip to Andalusia. To go there, we took the plane at Gatwick. No, now take a look at this. Gané un viaje a Andalucía. Remember that in Spanish, admirative marks and interrogative marks are used at the beginning and at the end of the sentence. They are mandatory. And then, para ir allí, tomamos el avión en Gatwick. Okay. Now, here, the most interesting thing is how to translate to. Take a look at this. Here, to is a. But here, to is para. Why? This is because when you are saying where are you going to, meaning direction and movement, we use the preposition a. So, I went to Portugal. Fui a Portugal. I went to Paris. Fui a París. I moved to China. Me mudé a China. In this case, to is translated as a. But when you want to say in order to, meaning the objective or the goal of an action, you have to translate to using para. So to go there, in order to go there, para ir allí. So it's different. So be very careful because to here is translated as a and to here is translated as para. And to do things a little more difficult, what happens with these two? There is nothing here. Oh, of course, nothing. You don't translate this to here. Why? Because to win is only the name of the verb. So to win is ganar. And to lose is perder. That's why lost is perdido. Okay, so remember to translate to, you have to consider, if you are indicating direction and movement, you translate a. In order to, you translate para. The name of the verb, you do not translate the to part. Because in English, to say the name of a verb, we put to in front of the verb. But in Spanish, we have a specific ending, so we don't need to add anything here. Okay, and the last one. I was a little tired after the competition, but I had a great time. Okay, estaba And now, very frequent mistake. Un poco cansada. Very frequent mistake. Another very frequent mistake después de la competencia. Look at this. It's very frequent here to find students saying or writing pequeño or pequeña. Pequeño or pequeña means small. So a small car es un coche pequeño. A small boy es un niño pequeño. But here I'm not saying that something is small or tiny. I'm saying I was a little tired. This is un poco. Never pequeño or pequeña here. No, nothing to do with this. So, estaba un poco cansada. After the competition, in English, when you use words like after or before the competition, we do not add a preposition here, but in Spanish it's mandatory when you say after or before something to add de. So you cannot say después la competencia. You have to say después de la competencia. And now, but I had a great time, pero lo pasé muy bien. And now, sorry for this, because to have, you know that to have is tener or haber, but here I translate as pasar, which is to pass. Sorry, is another language. So change your mind, rewire your brain, and talk Spanish. Okay, that's the end of the lesson. I hope this was useful for you. Remember that if you subscribe, you will receive a gift from Spanish for London, which is a video about 10 common mistakes made by students. And remember that we are in the process of launching a new course about verbal tenses, where I will explain all the tenses in depth, and I will teach you how to use them in your written and oral assignments, talking about your particular topics in GCSE, and using one tense, two tenses, three tenses, and more and more. And of course, if this was useful for you, spread the word to help more students like you. Okay, see you next time. Nos vemos la próxima clase. Adiós, bye bye.